up, everyone? Welcome to Benched. We are the Tovar Brothers. Joey here, joined by the brother Angel. What's up, man?
What's up? Hello. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, everyone.
Oh,
Monday,
yeah.
November 13th.
Wow.
We are flying. 2023 is coming to an end. Pretty soon, we're going to get those playlists from Spotify. If you use Spotify, those are always great.
Spotify Wrapped. Yep.
I hope you have Christmas music blaring through your house.
Apple Music has a version of that too. So
Do they?
Yeah.
Shout out to Apple Music.
Yeah.
For
catching up finally.
Yeah. Those are always fun. On this episode, we're going to get into the news. Week 10 was fun. Week 10 was crazy. Week 10 came down to the last minute.
So many fun games, and even when the records weren't great, the games were still great.
Yeah, week 10 was a good time as we move into the second half of the season here. We're also going to talk Ball Don't Lie. We observed Week 10, and we got some thoughts. We're going to share them in the Ball Don't Lie, our Monday segment, and then, of course, a Monday Night Football preview as Angels-Broncos look to upset the Buffalo Bills.
Stop doing this. Stop doing this.
I'm gassing up the Broncos, man. Broncos comeback. Broncos Super Bowl. Russell Wilson, baby, leading them. Sean Payton's Broncos making a comeback. Win 70, lose by 70 points. You didn't lose by 70. I shouldn't say that. Have 70 points dropped in you and go to the Super Bowl in the same year? Holy crap. Monday night's going to be good. We'll preview that game.
Look, I'm not saying anything because karma's real, and I really believe it. So I'm like, look, whatever happens tomorrow,
You're superstitious. Yeah.
I'm thankful for football. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Help both teams come out healthy and strong, and their families are great, and the holidays go great for everybody involved. I'm looking forward to tomorrow or to tonight's football game.
You're very superstitious about football.
I am very
about
superstitious.
fantasy football, all that. I don't care.
Baseball too. Baseball.
I mean sports, yeah.
We had a conversation. This is not football related about whether you say whether a pitcher is throwing a no hitter, and you're like,
if you walk in and say, it's a no hitter going on,
then it's done.
Yeah, oftentimes it is. It's also very likely no one's going to throw a no hitter, so you're really on.
Everyone always says it.
You really got the good odds there, but
everyone always says it.
Yeah, superstition in sports is not new. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for joining us. If you're new here, welcome to the show. We talk football every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You have a good time doing it. We've been going now for 52 episodes.
Crazy.
Before we get into this, 2 famous 52s. What you got?
Oh, there's one that's popped out immediately. Ray Lewis, the guy who was. What was it, Madden 05? He was a face of whatever. That was the first time I knew he was like a legit superstar. Was when I was a kid. I saw him on the posters.
This isn't fair, but every time I think of Ray Lewis, I think of what? I think of Jose Canseco. Not what you're thinking. What you're thinking too.
Look,
but I think of Jose Canseco. I think of I just think of a shady dude.
That dude was a killer.
I think of like a true on the field, in the locker room, and everywhere else killer.
Yeah. Whatever he did, he was trying to kill somebody.
Yeah. Yep. Ray Lewis.
He gave 100% and took 100%.
Clay Matthews, one of my favorite defensive ends / outside linebackers.
He was with that sweet draft class of him, Ray Maluga, and Brian Cushing out of USC.
I love the 50s, man, because we're going to get into the linebacker numbers.
You know what? Those linebackers don't exist anymore. Those like...
21 tackles from Roquan Smith today.
Those, just like there's like only a few of them. I think when we were growing up, I
disagree with you. Are you kidding me? Fred Warner, Roquan Smith.
No, I said thumper. Those are guys weigh like 220. I think like the 255 pounders. Those linebackers.
That's fair
because the game changed. You can't
Bill
play
Belichick tried to keep him around for a while.
But he's probably still trying.
He would draft one of those guys every single.
No, I remember
draft. I know what you're saying.
Those big.
If you're watching here on YouTube, thanks for joining us. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, thanks for listening as well.
Yeah.
Leave a review if you like the show. If you don't, just move on by. Follow us on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Follow the show between the show. So much going on in the NFL. We're trying to keep up with everything on those social media platforms. And search at Benched Show to follow along there. Week 10 is not in the books yet. Tomorrow we have that.
Tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we're recording Sunday night. I think everyone knows that.
Okay.
Monday night we have the big game.
Broncos. Stop.
Broncos Bills. Broncos will shock the world. But before we get into that, like we said, Week 10, the Sunday's games were nuts. Started, of course, this morning as the Patriots, Bill Belichick, possibly banished to Germany if he loses. He did, in fact, lose, and he may be joined by Mac Jones there because he got benched.
Yeah, I'm mad at him because I maybe wake up just to watch bad football and watch Bill O'Brien yell at Mac Jones and to watch Belichick just look like the grumpiest old man I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, you had to. I mean, okay. He's in another country. It's Veterans Day.
He's not a veteran.
I know, but he's a Patriot.
Oh, well, okay.
Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
And now he knew his. I mean, he has to know that his job's on the line here. With every loss, he's getting closer to going home to an empty house.
I feel like he could say
That sounds so sad.
I feel like he says whatever he wants to say. He definitely feels the pressure and hears the noise like everyone's saying. I'm sure we're not in the Boston, media. I'm sure they rip him to shreds. The same people who loved him as the greatest coach of all time. There's probably still a few loyalists out there who won't say what's happening, but you watch one of their games and you realize this team sucks.
He's gonna get fired. It's happening now. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of when. I just hope they treat him respectfully.
Yeah.
And I hope Boston treats him respectfully. Should be no celebrating when it's a sad thing. It's the end of an era.
Yeah.
It's
like the equivalent of calling an Uber or driving her home. You don't drive her home. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Patriots lose to the Colts there in Germany, and it was just bad. It was very, very bad. That's a long, quiet flight home.
The coolest thing about the game, did you see when they were singing Sweet Caroline during a play?
Yeah, have you seen that? They do that every game in Europe.
I love when they do that.
Yeah, you see it there, right?
Yeah.
All the Europe games?
It happened during a play, and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And the play was Minshew running for his life, but still, it was pretty amazing. I love that.
Other games here, the Seahawks won, which they needed badly to keep up with the Niners.
Great game.
Also won. Niners looked very, very good today. We'll get into that later. Detroit beat the Chargers in a shootout. That was
that's what the Chargers do.
And that's what the Lions do.
Yep.
They just find a way to win. Chargers just find a way to lose. It is looking bad there. Speaking about coaches on the hot seat. Whoa.
You know how I feel about Brandon Staley.
There's going to be a lot of coach openings. It's going to be so interesting because there's going to be new coaches and a whole bunch of new quarterbacks next year, which is just, who knows?
I've floated this idea to you privately. I haven't said this on the show yet. My dream scenario for the Chargers is for the Titans to fire Vrabel or for Vrabel to retire, but Vrabel on the Chargers.
Well, if he's retired.
No. He quits or they go separate ways
Retires?
or whatever. Yeah. And he goes to the Chargers because I do not like Brandon Staley.
Yeah, he's
Another year of wasting talent.
not looking good for him there in, I guess, L.A., here in L.A.
Yeah.
Even though we don't recognize the Chargers
I don't
as
ever
an LA
see
team.
Chargers merchandise or signs around LA.
I'm telling you right now, if you're watching this and you don't live in California or Southern California or Los Angeles, it's still weird that they're here.
Yeah.
It's still
You forget
they're here. You forget they're playing here. All you every now and then you pass by in Inglewood there, you pass by SoFi and you think of the Rams, and then if you think about it long enough, you'll have the thought, oh, the Chargers play there too.
Yeah, they do play there. Yeah.
Yeah, so not great. Dallas blew out the Giants, and then in the most Cowboys thing ever, Trayvon Diggs gets on Twitter after and says, "We're going to the Super Bowl."
That's so irresponsible to say.
It's just very Cowboys.
Yeah,
it's very on brand.
You've beaten the Giants bad twice in a row. I'm sure most of the league has done that. So the Giants are bad. So props to you for beating them, but chill out on your indicator for making a Super Bowl is beating the Giants.
Yeah, not great. And then of course we didn't finish watching it. We followed along on our phones.
I can't do it.
We followed along on our phones as the New York Jets drop another game, and they lose to the Las Vegas Raiders.
We watched the first half. That's all I need to see of Nathaniel Hackett and Zach Wilson doing whatever the hell they call that.
They lose to the Las Vegas Raiders this time, and it just, I don't know, man.
Look,
I don't know what else to say about them.
For a team trying to be in contention, if Aaron Rodgers comes back, and to lose to teams like this, this is games you need to win if you're trying to keep your head above water until he comes back. This is like you just kind of fucked up this whole thing.
Yeah, and then it was a great day for finishes as a NFL record 5 games ended on a game-winning field goal with zeros on the clock.
Yeah.
And a lot of those were really big divisional games. Some of those were comebacks. It was a really, really good week in the NFL. Week 10 off to a strong start. Let's get into the news. News is brought to you by 818 Brewing. Right before the Sunday Night Football game, we got a little quote. We finally got some expectations from Aaron Rodgers as he told Melissa Stark that his goal is to be back by mid-December. Quote, I know it sounds insane.
So today or tomorrow is the 13th. So that means he wants to be like a month from now. We should see him back.
In about a month.
That's insane. Week 1.
You know, it might be the beginning of December after he watched tonight's game. It might be growing. I don't know if he might be back at the end of November if he keeps watching Zach Wilson play at quarterback.
I want to see the freaking boot they put on his foot while he's playing. They're gonna have some specialized.
Listen, man, he's defying science.
He's gonna get high pregame, so he doesn't feel any pain.
Yeah,
Get shot up with painkillers to even him out.
Yep,
and then play football.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
insane.
I'd love to see it. It'd be fun. It's such a. Every time I see Aaron Rodgers, it's just a bummer to me that he's not playing in the 2023 season so far, because that would have been fun.
Yeah,
God, that would have been fun.
Yeah,
tonight would have been a lot more fun. Instead, we got Aiden O'Connell and Zach Wilson. Moving on here, another story here from the trade deadline drama of things that were almost. The Eagles called the Broncos about trading for star cornerback Patrick Surtain. Prior to the trade deadline. As previously reported, the 49ers did the same, and it turns out that each team had concerns that the other would land him. It turns out the Broncos were going to trade him anyway, or at least they chose not to at this juncture. And this is kind of funny because this kind of gives you some insight of what the Eagles and Niners think about each other. It's almost like when you're in class, like high school, and the two best athletes know who each other are.
Mm-hmm.
And you're always kind of sizing up each other. Like, even like when you're just in class, like just walking around, you're kind of always like, like always just peacocking.
Yeah.
Just like, okay.
Yeah, I know. It's that kid at recess where you're the best on your team for your flag football team. Then the other guy's the best on his team. You're like, eventually we're going to meet up, bitch, and so we're going to find out.
I feel like that's exactly what it is. Like, these two teams are just getting through the season with an eye on each other, thinking that's the guy.
That's the guy I got to beat.
That's the guy that is going to.
Kind of is true. I mean,
not going to argue with
some NFC teams are good this year.
Yeah.
But I think we both have,
Yeah, that's very interesting to me. Just think that those two are just kind of playing that chess game, even at the management level. That's really funny.
Yeah, they play what in 2 weeks or
they played 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
whatever it is. I can't wait.
3 weeks.
Yeah, that's gonna be freaking awesome. In prime time, right?
Yeah. I think the Niners the week before they play the Seahawks on Thanksgiving, and I think the week after Thanksgiving it's Eagles. That's
Niners. Pretty good game.
At the Link. Should be so much fun.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a good day today. Welcome back, Kyler Murray.
Hey, he didn't throw for a touchdown, but he had a run for a first down to win the game. He looked fast.
He looks quick.
Yeah.
I mean, they really slow played this thing. Like, they did not hurry him. They took his time. He now gets to go home, rest up, probably see if any swelling comes. Throw on Cod. Is Cod out yet?
Yeah, it's out.
Yeah, so that's probably what he's doing right now. And welcome back, Kyler. It's a better NFL with Kyler here.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. He's super fast. He's got a great arm. He's got that baseball arm, so he throws it cool too.
Yeah,
and they have good weapons there. He's show a little rust, but good for this. Good for a kid, but good. Well, I am older than him.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, so good for this kid. Like the Cardinals, I saw the fan base. They did a shot of the fans. They're pumped up. Like, I love Dobbs, but once you get your franchise guy back, it's just different.
Yeah, he definitely was rusty, but it's so cool to see him come out and look physically good because we're hoping he's part of a insane offseason.
Yeah.
Where, he's moved and possibly Justin Fields and it's
there was
going to be zoppity.
Yeah, there was a report that his contract's going to be pretty tough to trade So I'm very curious about what happens because Cardinals could easily move on.
Yeah.
They don't mind eating dead cap because they're going to be a super cheap roster next year because they're going to get a bunch of rookies. So
yeah, I wouldn't worry about that.
After what I saw tonight, the freaking Raiders and Jets, I would like some nice quarterback play and like back in the league.
Yeah. Kyler Murray, welcome back. So long, CMC's touchdown streak. Today it came to an end at an incredible 17 games. Congrats, CMC. 17 straight games with a touchdown.
We have to take a step back for a second.
Yes.
And like rank him amongst of our era that we've been alive, like the Adrian Petersons, those kind of running backs, the Chris Johnsons, those kind of like when he retires, like I want to know where he lands because I feel like we're taking for granted how great this guy is.
Yeah, I think he'll be always docked for the lost years.
Yeah, he was out a couple years, injury.
Where we thought we didn't think we were gonna get this Christian McCaffrey back.
This late in his
he gets to
career.
Santa Clara and all of a sudden he's never hurt again. Very interesting.
Very
interesting
to watch.
But good to see him thriving and ready for him to start a new streak here. Hopefully, ending at the link when he plays the Eagles. A couple injuries today. Unfortunately, Derek Carr got the crap knocked out of him.
Yeah. Oh, poor Derek.
He got high load, and it is just in slow mo. It's just a crazy thing to see.
He's getting banged up a lot over there in New Orleans.
And then Jameis came in and just balled out.
Jameis
is awesome.
He's like the wild horse. You just like, if he's like, just run straight and we might win this thing. It's like you sound like, hey, just throw the ball deep. Someone will like get under it.
Yeah, Jameis is a wild man. He says crazy things. He has training programs with his uncles in the offseason in the backyard.
Yeah, he's
in the middle of a barbecue, shirtless,
Look, he is who he is, and the NFL's better for it because, like, I guarantee you, once he's done playing, he'll be a broadcaster, he'll be a podcaster, he'll do something where, like, he'll be fun.
Well, what I was going to say is that he does all those things, but get used to him. He's going to be in the NFL for a long time.
Yeah. The NFL won't let that go. They'll throw money at him. Some network will like, hey, come commentate.
No. I'm saying he's going to play quarterback for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going anywhere.
He's a quality backup. He showed that today.
Yeah, he just can ball. The other one here is Quan Alexander, linebacker for the Pirates, for the Steelers. Season-ending torn Achilles.
Another one.
The Achilles are just going this year.
Yeah.
He needs to see Aaron Rodgers guy, see if he can get back by mid-December.
Quan.
No.
What?
I'm kidding.
A month.
But no, tough break there for the Steelers because he was already replacing the starter. So
yeah,
a little hit to their defense there. That is the news brought to you by 818 Brewing. Anything else stand out to you about Week 10? I know I'm putting you on the spot there.
No, I just
it's a good time.
No, like what we said Friday. Like it didn't look like good football on paper, but some games were just like, this is pretty freaking fun.
That's it. Another thing I know you're excited about. I think that's the end of 6:30 games, right?
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Very excited.
I literally woke up today. I'm like, I'm not gonna turn on the TV. I got my iPad out, put the game on, and just like half awake, watch the first quarter. By second quarter, I was up and moving. Third quarter, I had a cup of coffee and something to eat.
I got a confession. I woke up this morning. Of course, we worked last night.
Okay.
And I was pretty sore, and like my feet were pretty sore, and the internet needed to be rebooted, and I just thought, there's no way I'm walking to the living room. It was cold, and rebooting the internet just so I could watch this game, and so I just followed the Gamecast until I fell asleep again.
Yeah.
So sorry.
You know what? As much as I hate waking up early, I'll say it again. I love those fans in Europe, in Germany, and London. If you hear that, that's the train outside passing the house. I love that fandom. I love that when you go to you pan the whole crowd. It's like everyone's jersey. No one's there to watch everyone's just there to have a good time.
That's a great point because I'd never thought that I would be like, I want to go somewhere in Europe and watch an NFL game. See what that's
probably completely different.
You think so?
It's probably.
I've never seen.
They probably drink way more than us. I'm guessing.
Dark beer. One time this has nothing to do with the show. This has nothing to do with football. But one time I was talking to a bunch of Brits about drinking.
Where was this?
It was at a wedding.
Okay.
And it was the groom was from England and all his squad.
All his mates.
Yeah. His best mates.
Yeah.
His girl mates.
Yep.
His college mates.
Yep.
His band mates.
Yep.
They're all there.
Yep.
They're all there. And I told them, hey, I'm going to Europe and I want to go drinking with you guys. And they just laughed at me.
Shut up.
There's not a chance.
Well, we're freaking.
We don't American drink.
First off,
I'm not doing that anymore.
To this guy, we're freaking Mexicans, man. We keep up with anybody.
Nope. I honestly, because they literally told me, they said when you drink at the pubs in England, they drink dark beer all night.
Look,
and they go home, and I just that's not me. I'm not doing that.
If someone pushes me, I'm. Look, I'll give it my best. I'm not going to say no.
You'll go down swinging, but you will go down.
I got all pumped up.
That's just
right
not
there.
the American way.
If I go to freaking London, like we're going next year in London, we're having a little family vacation in London, and someone, hey, keep up with us. You're just, start making fun of America or Americans. All right. I won't be home tonight.
I really hope you don't do that because all I see is me carrying you to the car at around 2:30.
Yeah. Making America proud.
That's not what that is. On that note, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get back
amped up
to football here with Ball Don't Lie.
Screw you, London.
Yep, be right back.
And welcome back to Bench. We're about to hit a segment called Ball Don't Lie, where we watch football and we realize when we read the paper the next day, it doesn't always tell the full story. You watch the games, you realize something's happening that they're not going to talk about. And we have a segment called Ball Don't Lie every Monday. One of my favorites. Let's get into it. Ball Don't Lie. When the 49ers are fully healthy, they're the best team in football. Oof. Sunday, they were phenomenal.
Yikes.
They beat the Jaguars, who just came off a 5-game winning streak. Let me read you what happened. Let me read just these stats, and then I'll tell you what happened on the field.
Get it.
Purdue had three touchdowns, 296 yards, and 0 picks. CMC had 142 total yards. Debo had a rushing touchdown. Kittle and Ayuk both had receiving touchdowns. That's everyone on offense ate today.
Seems like a lot of check boxes.
Defense, they allowed 221 yards, had 2 picks and 5 sacks, one of which Chase Young and Bosa met Trevor Lawrence in the backfield.
I've seen it about 45 times today.
Because it was phenomenal.
Yes.
They nearly doubled the total yards of Jacksonville today.
Yeah.
Now this wouldn't be a big deal if they beat the Giants. Okay. Shout out to Diggs. They beat the Jaguars, who are a good team, and they're fully healthy. All this tells me today, I was like, well, the Jaguars. This is probably where they are, second tier. And when the 49ers are healthy, I don't know who could beat them because Purdy needs everyone to be healthy, and if they are healthy, this is what he does.
Yeah.
And the addition of Chase Young to this defense, the whole D-line ate today because it's so much pressure on any O-line. Like when they play the Eagles, when they play any team that's towards the end of the year, they're going to throw this D-line at people, and it's going to overwhelm most of them.
Yep.
So Ball Don't Lie. If this team's healthy, they're the best team in football. Like it's just so obvious.
Yeah. When
you watch them today.
I mean, I don't think I would go as far as. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't go as far as saying they're the best team in football, but it's hard to argue that it's not the most complete roster in football, and that might be the same thing. I don't know, but it's just all. I see the scenario coming. This is all going to come down to Purdy at some point. Yeah, the Jaguars.
You were calling for his job last week.
Well, he sucked for the last couple weeks. But yeah, no, with the performance like this and with all these weapons at his disposal, he can be dangerous for sure. He's shown that in his career. They better, but I did say this too. The rest of the season is about prioritizing the health of their stars because if they don't have they need every single one of these guys. If they don't have every single one of these guys, they're not going to have a chance. But I mean, you've seen what they are when they have them.
Yeah, when they're fully healthy, they could do offensively. They could do whatever they want.
Yeah. On the flip side here, this is why we were pounding the table for the Jaguars to make moves on defense because you need to affect the quarterback, and defensive Josh Allen can't do it by himself, and we saw that today.
Yeah. Jaguars just got thoroughly outplayed in every facet, right. And this kind of makes you wonder how good are they? They're a really good team, but are they a great team? But they have time to bounce back. I believe in this team. They're well coached. They have stars on offense. And defensively they've played well. This is the bad day. I'm not really panicking about them.
Yeah, I feel like we know the Jaguars. Yeah. Their defense is bend don't break. They rely on turnovers. Didn't happen today.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why they get but race there. Trevor Lawrence and I'll say this, has never been special. He's just a solid quarterback.
I think we're realizing that.
He's not a special quarterback, or at least he hasn't been that so far. And I don't know what else needs to happen for him to be that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they won 5 in a row, and it's no time to panic. I feel like we know this about the Jaguars. We know who they are. We'd be surprised if they railed off a couple wins against a Ravens team or a Browns team or a Chiefs team. That'd be very surprising in the playoffs.
Yeah, this said more about the 49ers than did the Jaguars. We both, when we were making the show together, were like, this, I'm not really worried about the Jags at all.
Yeah.
I think they'll be just fine. And in the AFC, if they get hot, look, all you got to do is get in the dance, and they have all the weapons. If they get hot, they can keep up with anyone offensively. So I'm not really worried about
I don't know. I don't know if they can. I don't know. I've never seen Lawrence be that guy.
Well,
you know?
I think he can operate the system they have. They have enough weapons around there to just make it work. Yeah, that's how they've been doing it. Just like spread out the yeah.
It's just disappointing that they should have been hyper aggressive during the deadline. They should have been in on Chase Young. They should have been in on all these guys, all the names, all the rumors. They should have went and made something happen because they just don't have the juice to compete sometimes. Or like you see this too in like basketball sometimes, where once you give like the Warriors or like the Niners, you give them an edge and they can get on a roll, they'll bury you.
Yeah.
Because they're that talented. But so you need players on your team who can kind of stop the bleeding at certain points.
Yeah.
And the Jags just don't have those guys.
Yeah. But anyways, that's true. Jaguars will be fine, but bottom line for me, when the 49ers are healthy, that's a tough out.
Hard to argue there. I'll go here. Ball don't lie. In the Browns versus Ravens game, I'm convinced of one thing. These two teams are the biggest threat to the Chiefs. I might throw the Bengals in there, which is crazy because all three of those teams are in the same division. But Browns and Ravens, it was 33-31, which is incredible that those offenses threw up those kind of numbers against these defenses.
Yeah.
But I'm not disappointed with the Ravens. I'm impressed with the Browns because we haven't seen the Browns do this yet. Mm-hmm. This is a real test for Deshaun Watson and for that defense going against this kind of offense. But I'm impressed with both of these teams, and I think both of these teams have elite units on both sides of the ball. If Deshaun Watson is healthy and playing the way he did in the second half of this game, either of these teams can win a Super Bowl. I absolutely believe that.
Yeah, watching that game, you realize this is a different tier of football that team played today. This is just different. It almost had a playoff feel because it was so hard-hitting, so physical. These coaches know exactly, these teams know exactly who they are, the roles on each. That's why they're so good.
The best football in the league right now is being played in the AFC North. Absolutely believe that. Browns and Ravens State, I think, demonstrated that. Next week we get Ravens and Ravens and Bengals on Thursday night.
Sheesh.
And then Steelers and Browns on Sunday. So these teams will play each other again. Really good. Let's get into Deshaun Watson a little bit because that's the big question we had going into this.
Yep.
And he is one of the main reasons why I think this team could win a Super Bowl because they don't need much from their quarterback play. But if they get this Deshaun Watson, they can absolutely beat the Chiefs.
Yes.
In the first quarter, he was rough. He went 1 for 9, 19 yards, and threw a pick, and it was a pick 6.
Yeah.
He had a 0 QBR, really rough. But in the second half, 14 for 14, 150 yards, a touchdown, and a comeback win. He had huge plays scrambling. He was just lights out in the second half, just playing scrappy AFC North football. He looks like a great fit.
And he was banged up. He had an ankle problem. And he still has that shoulder issue. And he was walking around. He was walking like Jalen Hurts did prior to just walking, just kind of hunched
being
over.
Being a warrior.
But I was thoroughly impressed with Watson today. Look, this is how it's going to be for these divisional games. I think he got a welcome.
Oh, yeah.
I think he got a little welcome today. This is how it is. This is how it is. They're going to be ugly. They're going to be hard-hitting. And the team that plays all 4 quarters the hardest is going to win.
I think this has been the biggest game of Deshaun Watson's career with the Browns.
Yeah.
This was the biggest one so far.
To prove he could beat the 7-2.
Yeah.
Which last week, not us, but everyone was saying they're the best team in football. Which some people might think that.
Right.
But for them to go in there in Baltimore, right?
I believe so, yeah.
To beat them there, that's totally impressive. His defense was great. Myles Garrett he's defensive player of the year. He's so good.
He's amazing.
But I don't know why there's no hype or not. You don't hear this is not a shot, okay? Anytime TJ Watt gets a sack, everyone hears about it.
Oh, God, it's everywhere. Media. It's everywhere.
But if
or
Miles,
or a Bosa.
yeah, or a Bosa. If Myles Garrett gets a sack, it's just like maybe because he plays for the Browns, but like this guy is the most dominant player on defense this year. Like, there's like not even close.
Yeah,
he's phenomenal.
Yeah. One more thing on the Browns too, to even further like talk about how impressed I was with Deshaun Watson, is that it's just him now. Like Amari Cooper's there, but he's not what he once was. He's still a very good receiver.
Yeah, he's still good.
They got Elijah Moore and just kind of a little group of receivers. We both think they probably should have held on to Don Peoples-Jones, but in the backfield they're making it work with Jerome Ford
and
Kareem Hunt, two guys that don't really move the needle that much. He just willed them to this victory.
They also didn't have their starting left tackle and right tackle.
Yes, very very impressive both of these teams. I think either of them can meet the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, even if it's in Arrowhead. And take them out. I'm ready for the playoffs right now.
The Browns,
even as I think about that.
I want to see that team in snow when it gets cold. Like that, I want to see that defense flies around.
What would happen in Cleveland if they bring home
the trophy,
a Lombardi?
Holy
crap!
Their last championship was not the Guardians. The Guardians hadn't won it. That's baseball. Cleveland.
Oh, okay. I'm like, who?
No, just in general. Cleveland. Yeah, that would be phenomenal. They have a tough road, but they have all the. This roster's still talented, even though they're super depleted.
Yeah, If you're of the betting nature, go put some money on the Browns.
Yeah, maybe.
Why not?
Yeah.
We got.
Bottom line, the Texans went from a feel-good story to a legit playoff contender by beating the Bengals. Okay, back-to-back wins. Now they're 5-4.
Yeah,
they're one game behind the Jacksonville Jaguars at 6-3. By the way, they have that tiebreaker.
Yep.
They beat this year. They've beaten the Jaguars, Steelers, Bucks, and Bengals. So you can't say they didn't play anybody. They played legit teams,
especially today.
And it's partly because of the play of rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud.
Phenom.
On the year, 15 touchdowns, 2 picks. Today, 356 yards. This offense is top 10 in yards and yards per game, points per game, yards per play, and on third down. This is what
it's pretty good.
This is what a quarterback can do for a team. This defense is a bunch of 1-year contracts and a bunch of rookies. Stroud has just led them into this point where we have nothing to lose and we're not scared of anybody. They went to Cincinnati mid their reemergence into this whole league. Yeah. Into the the AFC tier 1 teams, and they beat them. And this defense picked off Burrow twice. They had key like stops. And Noah Brown, their players that made plays today were cast-offs of the Cowboys. Cowboys didn't want to sign Dalton Schultz.
Yeah,
they signed him. Noah Brown, I didn't even know he signed there until I saw him week 1 play. I was like, oh yeah, Noah Brown's there.
Yep.
He's like their second best wideout.
Robert Woods was
cut from the Titans.
Nico Collins, no one's talking
Singletary
about him.
got booted from
the Bills,
from Buffalo, and had 30 carries and over 120 yards.
Balled out.
This is no longer look what the Texans are doing. This team is going to be in the playoffs, trying to spoil someone's perfect season by these young punk Texan guys with Stroud, who's 22 years old. Beating these phenomenal.
I love that Stroud is getting the attention that he is, because he is a star in the making and he should get attention. It bums me out that we are not hearing DeMeco Ryans' name more. Because he's to see what he's done. How many games did they win last year? 1, 2?
Yeah.
They were trash last year. Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And yet here he is in Cincinnati. You don't hear from him. He just coaches his team.
Yep.
And there's a different feel to this team. It's almost like they feel they could beat anyone.
Yeah. I think that's either
that starts from the coach.
That's either like being so so young. They're like, oh, we don't even know what we're doing. We're just playing well. Yeah. We're just like playing football. But the next 5 games, okay, you tell me if they can win these games, okay? Cardinals?
Yes.
Jaguars?
Yes.
Broncos?
God, that Jaguars game's a big game. Broncos, yes.
Jets?
Yeah.
Titans?
Absolutely.
They could easily go 4-1.
And what would their record be?
Currently, they're 5-4. They could literally be 9-5.
Wow.
This team is just you just believe in them now because Stroud's playing so well.
I mean, if that happens or anything close to that happens, the coach of the year is wrapped up. It's DeMeco Ryans.
As much as we like Dan Campbell, and much as like McDaniel there in like Miami, he's not being talked about enough. He's
They didn't have first years like
I guarantee you, no one can name their starting defense right now. Even right now.
Yeah.
You know they have Will Anderson. They just got back Stingley. They have Jimmy Ward. They have a bunch of
Jalen Petrie,
they have
Jimmy Ward.
a bunch of cast-offs from other teams and just put them on this defense. And then offensively, Stroud, I'm having a hard time ranking him among quarterbacks. He's a rookie. I don't want to I don't want to, be
He's going to
buying too much. But
yeah, people are not realizing, the casual fan is not realizing he's going through his ups and downs. He had 3 turnovers today.
Yeah.
The week before last week, the 470. The week before that, he struggled.
Yeah, against Carolina.
So he's having ups and downs. He's just he had the ball with the chance to win the game today, and he came through against Joe Burrow in the house that Joe Burrow built.
Yeah,
that's big time. But yeah, I think now this is I was talking about this with some other team last week where they've reached the point now where there's expectations. It might have been them actually.
Yeah,
I think this was in Friday's questions. We said if they win this game against the Bengals, they're gonna move now to a different section where they're not just a fun story like you said.
Yeah,
they're a team where now let's see if you're real. They have those 5 games, but we need to see that. I want to see them against another powerhouse and see Stroud hold up.
I mean the Jags. That's a good team.
It's a huge game.
Yeah,
yeah.
So I'm just so bought into this team. I don't know if I'm bought into where they can make a Super Bowl run, but bought into where they're going to be legit contenders. And if you don't come in with your A game, they will beat you wherever you guys play.
Let me tell you a little story of a team that lost their quarterback.
This is about the Eagles.
A team that lost their quarterback,
okay.
Their MVP candidate quarterback, and in steps a guy named Big Dick Nick Foles.
Big Dick Nick Foles.
And they won a Super Bowl. Listen, anyone can get hot and win a chip.
What happens if he goes deep in the playoffs?
Holy crap. What happens if he goes to the Super Bowl?
How do you even classify him right now? Where is he in the quarterback?
Well, he's a top 10 quarterback right now. Like
it's crazy to think otherwise because he's tearing up the league.
Yeah. And it's a bad quarterback year, and if he's not one of your top 10, then you're wrong. Where he could be next year is fun to think about. He could be he's a top 5 guy next year if he continues on this trajectory, and he isn't even surrounded by talent yet. Devin Singletary is his running back. Noah Brown had 175 yards today. Tank Dell's 110 pounds soaking wet. He doesn't even have guys yet.
This is what great quarterback. I remember Brady used to make it work to anybody.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning, I mean, he had Reggie Wayne, he had Mark Harrison, but you forget the years. He would just make any 6th-round pick. You're going to be good because I'm your quarterback.
Holy crap. Are you telling me a Texans dynasty's on the way?
Look,
Texans dynasty.
Once again, I always say, like, for all the the shit that the Texans had to go through the last 2-3 years as fans, just to be made fun of, have Watson not play, have weird comments by your owner about racial whatever.
Yeah.
And then the light at the end of the tunnel is this 22-year-old kid who's just playing with his freaking hair on fire, who has his team 5-4 when they should not have 5. They should have 5 wins in the whole year, not 5 wins by week 11.
Yeah. It's exciting times in Houston.
Yeah. So
very fun. Last one here. And speaking of feel-good stories, I got one for you.
Okay.
I will see your CJ Stroud, and I will raise you a Josh Dobbs. Because ball don't lie, Josh Dobbs on the Minnesota Vikings is freaking magic. It is magic.
I love Josh Dobbs.
It's working, man. The rocket scientist is working with the Minnesota Vikings. They beat the Saints today, 27-19. Josh Dobbs, 268, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Also ran for a touchdown, 44 yards. He's the second leading rusher among quarterbacks. That is a real part of his game.
Yes.
So you have to count. Yes, he's not going to throw for 500 yards. He's not going to do all that. But he's going to be efficient. He's going to be smart. I think the marriage between him and O'Connell is dynamite. Mm-hmm. Those are 2 very smart men putting together an offense, and what they've been able to do in the first 2 weeks is incredible.
Much like Kirk, same way, smart guys,
just incredible. Yeah. They're now 6-4. 6-4.
Yeah, they were 1-4.
They were 1-4.
Unbelievable.
They have won 5 games in a row since that Chiefs game that they lost by 1 touchdown. In that stretch, they've beaten the 49ers, they've beaten the Falcons, and now the Saints. Listen to me, much like the Texans, listen to their next 4 games. The Broncos, can they win that game?
Yeah.
The Bears.
Yes.
The Raiders.
Yep.
Then they have the Bengals. That's gonna be a nice test.
3-1 at least.
They could very easily be going into this game 9-5. Just holy crap! I just had a thought.
Well, what?
Vikings Texans Super Bowl.
God no! Don't do that. As much as I love both teams, as much as I love Dobbs and Stroud, please, for the love of God, don't do
Stroud.
that. I want Stroud behind a mic.
Yeah, we want a feel good story, but not like
Not that feel good.
not in January.
Not where they're both Rudies or they're both.
Okay, let's not kill this one. But Josh Dobbs is working in Minnesota, and it's incredible. You lose Christian Kirk. I mean, it looked dark. Christian Kirk. Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
You lose Kirk Cousins. Justin Jefferson goes down. There's rumors that they're going to shut him down for the season. Cam Akers tears his Achilles. It's just all going downhill. And here they are. This is why you love football, man.
Yeah, you just never know.
Just play the games.
Like you said earlier, an MVP candidate goes down, a backup quarterback comes back in. They're 6-4. If you get in the big dance and you're hot, your records are 0-0 when you get into those freaking playoffs.
And especially in the NFC, because as much of an Eagle fan as I am, I know there's real holes in that team.
And the record wise are on the heels of those Lions, man.
As much as I'm an Eagle fan, there's holes in that team. We've seen the Niners go up and down.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the Cowboys. God knows it go up and down.
Mm-hmm.
The NFC's not wide open, but there's much more of an opportunity, I think, for the Vikings to make a run in the NFC than there is for the Texans to make a run in the AFC.
Yeah. I'd say that.
Yep. So the Vikings, let's see if they could. I mean, 1 game now, or no, 2 games behind, a game and a half behind Detroit. They're 6-4. Detroit at 7-2, and they're right on their heels, man. As the Packers and Bears fade.
Yeah. I was about to say I could see if they get on a run, dude. We talked about this when the trade deadline happened. This might have been the most underrated trade of the. They traded a 6th-round pick for a starting quarterback who might lead them to the playoffs.
And no one talked about it.
And no one talked about it.
It's kind of a nice story.
Meanwhile, the freaking Jets are out here begging Zach Wilson to just throw at least 60%.
God, if you're a Jets fan.
If you're the Jets, why the hell didn't you go get Josh Dobbs?
If you're a Jets fan and you're seeing Dobbs was traded for a what?
A 6th-round pick and a 7th back.
So a 6-7 swap.
Yep. And that's all it took for Josh Dobbs.
Oh, man.
And
you have to be just furious.
I mean, this is just because it's on my head. Like, the commitment that Saleh has had for Zach Wilson is unparalleled. I want to get with a girl who's as committed to me as Robert Saleh is to defending Zach Wilson.
That's the good stuff.
But, like, imagine Josh Dobbs would have made you a completely different team. But anyways, Josh Dobbs, what a great story too. Like, out of nowhere last year, the Titans played a freaking playoff game.
Yeah,
goes to the Cardinals. Hey, we're just gonna be here. Just keep the freaking seat warm for Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it.
Played well.
I'll play well. Hey, Kirk Cousins hurt. Just come in. Just make sure we're not bad. Comes in and they've won 2 straight.
I said I wanted to say magic because there's like ball don't lie. The whole idea of like watch them play. What's actually happening on the field. But there's an intangible momentum aspect to this team.
Oh yeah.
Where there's good feelings about this. After the game, Justin Jefferson tweeted, "I cannot wait to play with this Vikings team." Like there's real momentum
because there's no pressure. Like no one believes us anyway. Let's just do it. Like who cares if we look dumb trying? Like we're just gonna go for it.
That's a great point because I think magic in a football team is when there's a mixture of no pressure, like you're saying, much like that Eagles team that I've been referencing with the whole Carson Wentz goes down, we're not supposed to be here anyway.
Yeah.
Type thing. When there's no pressure, but there's also very real talent involved in that.
There's offensive.
Look out.
Yeah, the defense has been playing well.
Yeah.
A lot better. And offensively, they get everyone healthy. You have Jefferson, Addison, KJ Osborne, Hawkinson, and whatever they can get from Matson with a good play caller.
Look out.
Look, just get in the dance and see what happens.
Look out. Next week, there's going to be a couple of games that I'm looking forward to. I said those AFC North games. Where's that? I wanted to point it out here. Damn, I can't find it. Yeah, that's what I want to see. So Philly's taking on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But, okay, so I've said this before. We have a minute here, so I wanted to, before we go, I wanted to talk about this. So I messed with you earlier in the show, and you might have heard what the Broncos, right?
Yes.
But there's real truth to a little bit of a Broncos turnaround. Obviously, I'm making jokes about, Super Bowl and all that, but they are playing much, much better. This is a team that, the 70-point, obviously, very, publicized losses and rough offseason to start. But this is a real turnaround here. I want to see now, next week, Minnesota Denver. Two teams that have turned around their season.
Prime time, too. Sunday night football.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Okay, we are back. And before we go, we're going to do a Monday Night Football preview. On Monday night, we're going to get the Bills versus the Broncos. This game is in Orchard Park, New York. So we're going to get a Monday Night Football game. I don't have the weather in front of me, but I'll just say it's going to be cold.
November 13th in Buffalo, New York.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is cool. I got a little countdown here. The game is in 19 hours and 20 minutes, in case you're wondering, or 23 minutes.
Sweet. Well, not accurate, because when we're recording, that's when it is.
Dang it. Yeah, from when we're recording, that's when it is. When you hear this, it'll be much less. But. So this game is more interesting than I thought it would be a couple weeks ago, because the Broncos are turning things around. Mm-hmm. They beat the Chiefs. They won last week against the.
Don't put me on the spot like that, man.
Sorry. They won last week. You know what? It's right in front of me. Why am I doing that to you? They won they beat the Bears last week.
No.
What the hell am I saying?
What?
They beat the Packers. Then they beat the Chiefs. I'm all over the place. Hold on. Where's that? Because you know what? This layout's all different. Let me get the right one. Okay. I have this thing with like this clock and stuff. Here we go. Okay, what's this? In 3, 2. Okay, we are back with a game preview for Monday night. This is Bills and Broncos. All right, Bills-Broncos. This game is in Orchard Park, New York. It's going to be cold, November 13th in upstate New York.
The vibes are high. I'm still undecided on what I'm wearing or where I'm going to go watch the game, but it's my team on primetime football. As long as you don't wet the bed, it should be a fun game.
Do you know what the Broncos are wearing?
No.
By any chance?
I mean, I'm guessing white, but I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know why. I thought of the game immediately in the cold, and I thought of, obviously, the breath, because that's the cool football thing to me.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson in long sleeves, loose, right?
Yeah, probably.
That's just going to happen.
Yeah.
That's kind of his
Hopefully
thing.
not, though.
Really?
That'd be cool if he wasn't, but everyone's different.
This game is an over-under of 47, so
A little bit of scoring here.
the wise guys think there's going to be some points here. I think it's going to be a much better game than like I said, we thought maybe a couple weeks ago. I think the Broncos are playing well.
Bills are favored by 7.5.
Bills are favored by a touchdown and a half, but I don't know. Bills have not been.
Yeah, this game falls on Josh Allen. Whether like that's how it is. Josh Allen has proven to make. He almost lost to the Giants, who are might be worse than like the Broncos. Might be the worst team in all football. Josh Allen. It depends on what version of Josh Allen that we get. He's throwing at a high percentage this year, but he has 9 picks, right?
Yeah, 9 picks, 18 touchdowns.
So it's gonna be Josh Allen again.
A lot of touchdowns, a lot of interceptions. I think when you think of Josh Allen and you look at those numbers, you also have to factor in he is the entire offense for this. Like his usage rate, you see that in basketball a lot. Like LeBron has a lot of turnovers. I think he's like the most turnovers in NBA history because he always has the ball. Yeah, and the offense is always going through him. Yeah, same with Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. It's always going through him. He's 4th in the league in passing touchdowns. In passing yards, that 18 touchdowns is 2nd in the league. And so he's producing a lot, but he's turned the ball over. And I feel like this defense right now, this Broncos defense, can turn you over.
I can't wait to see Surtain versus Stephon Diggs. Oh. See, sometimes you get these matchups in the NFL. Yeah. Where it's like, I want to see some one-on-one. I want to see the ISO cam that show after every play of them, hand checking. I can't wait. Because Diggs is a freaking dog. Yeah. He's always going to be a dog. That's Surtain.
That's going to be a battle. Let's start on the Denver side, and I want us to talk offense for them.
Okay.
What has been working? What has got them to this where they're playing much better?
I think when the Broncos started to commit to running the ball, as Javonte Williams starts getting healthier, you just see that's why they've been winning. They were like, we're going to run the ball. Yeah. That's how Russell Wilson was good. Whether you like it, that's how he was best, just doing play action. Right. And then running the ball and play action with Russell Wilson. Sean Payton schemes up a lot of good stuff. So it's half play calling. Because Sean Payton, you're finally starting to see, as a Broncos fan, you're finally starting to see the Sean Payton effect.
The West Coast offense,
A lot of
baby.
screens, a lot of power runs, and a lot of we're not going to make any mistakes. Obviously, no one ever does that. But Russell Wilson has 4 picks this year and 16 touchdowns because he's playing in a system where don't fuck it up and we should be fine.
He's also running the ball well.
Yeah, Russell. Yeah, he's having a nice bounce back here. You wouldn't know it because that 70-point game just looms over this whole season for them. But he's having a nice year. This offense is getting better. I think tomorrow the Bills should get a little. You're going to see a lot of running tomorrow.
I mean, as it's going to get colder, so you're going to see more running anyway. The Broncos' offensive line, much better run blockers than they are pass blockers. And then you have Javonte Williams, who every week is looking better.
Yeah.
And the rookie, Jaleel McLaughlin, who is a perfect complement, I think, to Javonte Williams. Yeah. With P. Ryan also mixed in every now and then, too. I think that's the way they need to attack this game. And that also does a very important thing to the Bills' offense, and that is keeping it off the field.
Yeah, that's gonna be big. I want to see time of possession go Broncos away. I mean, I want to see that's how they should be if they want to win.
Yeah,
keep Josh Allen off the field. Our defense has been playing great, but sometimes you get these quarterbacks; it just doesn't matter. Like they'll just be good against anybody, and Josh Allen is always capable of doing that.
I want to bring a name that you know up, but I think most people would not know, and that is Nick Bonito.
Yeah,
he's emerging.
Yeah, we have the reason why we traded Randy Gregory is because we have all these young pass rushers. Yeah, and since then our pass rush has been phenomenal. Bonito is just part of our 4-man team that we just rotate.
Yeah,
this is the NFL now. You get about 4 pass rushers and you just rotate them. Go look at the Bills tomorrow too. They'll do the same thing, and we've just been hot. And look, I mean, tomorrow this Bills line is good. It's not great. I would love to see. Denver put some pressure on Josh Allen there. But Nick Bonito, 3rd-year guy out of Ohio State, he has a whack number though. I don't like his number, 42. I just hate that.
Is he really
I wish
42?
it was a cool number. Yeah.
All right, so look for number 42.
42. Yeah, you'll recognize him. He's
the big white that's in the middle of their team, in the middle defensive line. Sorry.
Why do you do this to me?
Zach Allen, right?
Yeah, Zach Allen.
He's played really well, too.
Yeah, Zach Allen.
I've seen him flash a couple
Zach
times.
Allen, DJ Jones in the middle there.
Why do you do this to me?
I hate it. We're like, hey, what's that guy who played for the...
I don't... Listen, it's the Broncos. I thought...
No, but sometimes I'm in the little show, I'm trying to figure out stuff, and you're like, who's that backup guy? Okay, but no, okay, Zach Allen. Sorry, yeah. Zach Allen, DJ Jones in the middle. Pass rush has been great. Since Justin Simmons has come back, defense has looked totally different. Yeah. He really solidifies that back end, and I guarantee tomorrow Kareem Jackson will be kicked out for an illegal hit because he always does that. Yeah, so freaking tired of Kareem Jackson.
That's the Broncos side. I'm very excited to watch that. And let's talk Bills side now. We talked offense. Yeah, let's talk defense now, which hasn't been what it's been the last couple years. I feel like. Yeah. I think the numbers
banged up.
Yeah, the numbers have shown that too, and they're very banged up.
Yeah,
especially in the secondary. This will probably be the first game where Rasul Douglas has that full role at cornerback, I think, because they lost. I'm not asking you, but I kind of am. White, Tre'Davious White,
and then Elam is on IR,
Kyrie
and then Hyde does a lot of nickel stuff for them too. So they're gonna Hyde's out tomorrow.
Taylor Rapp hasn't been.
He's been up and down this year.
Yeah,
as much as I like the signing, he's been up and down.
There's some holes in this defense. What's been the biggest bummer to me to see is Von Miller not have the same stuff he had. Is this the first time he's faced the Broncos?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All the quotes have been so complimentary on both ways.
Oh, it's nothing but respect.
Bronco Nation, as much as we don't like certain coaches or players, whatever. Yeah. There's no hate for Von Miller.
Oh,
and
no.
I guarantee you that the Broncos probably won't make the playoffs this year. I'll be cheering personally for Von Miller only. I'm not a Bills guy. I'll be cheering for Von Miller because I freaking love that guy.
He's looked slower.
Yeah, he's had 4 major knee injuries. Yeah, and he's 33 or 34. It's
starting to catch up with him. But tomorrow night it's gonna be a good game. Monday Night Football. Broncos at Bills. Go Broncos, man. Yep. I'll be right there cheering for the Broncos.
Yeah, tonight we should hear some nice snarky comments from Joe Buck and Aikman because they are.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, every week they have some snarky comment. There's
but you know what? I think they're sick of bad games.
Well, this should be a good game.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
They should be in a good mood.
Yeah.
You don't want Aikman in a bad mood.
No.
That's
I
a
can't
very
imagine.
mean man.
Yeah, Aikman. Yeah.
That's our Monday night. That's our Monday night preview, and that's our show for today. Very excited for Monday night. Very excited to wrap up Week 10. Wednesday's show, version 11, Angels.
Oh boy.
Heavenly top 10.
Movers up now.
And much, much more. We'll see you Wednesday.
Bye.
Have a great week.